Ladies and gentlemen, he's gone. At least, maybe not now. Maybe not even this year. But at some point, Zach Werenski will leave Columbus. This was tweeted out by Pierre Lebrun 4 minutes ago. Nothing is imminent, but the Blue Jackets have started listening to teams calling on Zach Werenski. Sources confirm. The Blue Jackets are aware that the Norris Trophy winner is unlikely to extend past his deal. No guarantee that he is dealt this summer, but the Jackets' best deal could be now versus waiting a year. We'll see how it develops. And this should not come to us as a surprise anymore. Not only is Zach Werenski one of these American dudes that was a part of an American gold medal winning squad at the Olympics, it seems like everybody that played on that team is impatient to winning. They want to win. They want to be a part of franchises that have a chance to contend. Columbus, I mean, say what you want about them acquiring some of the guys that they have acquired over the years, but their momentum is just not there. Doesn't seem like it, at the very least, even though Zach Werenski went out there and won the Norris Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman, scoring 81 points in 75 games. But as it was tweeted out by a few other accounts citing other names, I mean, this is what Elliot Friedman said regarding Zach Werenski. I don't know if Waddell is fielding offers, but I think at the very least he is finding out what people are willing to do. You also have Chris Johnston saying that I don't think at this point in time Zach Werenski is willing to commit long-term to Columbus. He is certainly willing to go back and play and honor his contract, but it will leave management with a big decision. Now, Werenski, he does have another 2 more seasons on his contract after this season. $9.5 million a year. Pretty good deal, all things considered. He's a great player. But to see this be the case, the Blue Jackets are now listening on teams that want Werenski. They know that he is unlikely to extend. Maybe he doesn't get traded now, but it seems like he'll get traded at some point. Either that or he ends up leaving in free agency, which, goodness forbid, the Blue Jackets cannot let that happen. Let's talk about teams. NHL Rumor Report says the only teams linked to Werenski in any capacity so far have been Carolina and Toronto. There is some speculation about Tampa out there as well. Plenty of teams would be interested, obviously. Now, Carolina, Toronto, where does that fall into the picture? Well, we did see ourselves some questions out there whether or not Werenski would be interested in playing on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Carolina being linked to Werenski, that makes sense as well. They've been linked to Hellebuck. They've been linked to Werenski. They just won the Cup. They are in it to win it, and they want to double down and give it to the next person. That was discussed by Nick Kyprios. Would Zach Werenski be willing to come to Toronto? Would a deal around Nyes and Colorado's first-round pick be a good place to start? Okay, so now we're talking about Matthew Nyes to the gosh darn Blue Jackets. That draft pick that the tweet goes out there and talks about, Colorado's 2027 first-round pick. I would assume that's going to be a later pick. I don't see the Colorado Avalanche falling off anytime soon. They just freed up some money with the Nichushkin trade, so I'm very interested to see what they do with those funds. 2027 first-round pick from Colorado could essentially be an early second if you really wanted to get cynical about it. But Zach Werenski over to the Maple Leafs would be pretty good. There's a teammate connection there. Austin Matthews, so, you know, everybody talks about the links between guys and whichever teams they go to, they want to have those Olympian teammates with them. Carolina has Slavin, which would be really interesting. You think about Werenski and his offense, Slavin and his defense. Honestly, Jacob Slavin's one of those only guys, I'd say, that you think about pure defensive defensemen, he's probably the best in the business at being that guy at the moment, but has he ever gotten close to winning a Norris? I'm not sure. I mean, he's not really the most productive guy when it comes to the score sheet, but then again, you know, you don't ever see shut down guys get that Norris victory. You kind of always have to have points like this. But either way, Slaven is a teammate on that Olympic squad as well. You think about some of these other teams. Yeah, Detroit has Larkin, but it doesn't seem like they're going to have him for long. They did not have Alex DeBrincat because he did not go to the Olympics. The Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews, that does seem pretty good as well. Elliot Friedman spoke about the Hurricanes. There's a lot of noise around Nikishin. Carolina prefers a player back. I gotta think they gotta be looking at Werenski, and they gotta be looking at Connor Hellebuck too. So, yeah, that checks out. Like, those are the only teams that have officially been linked to Zach Werenski. Carolina and Toronto. Tampa Bay, that would be crazy as well. But, I'd say the two front runners, at least rumor-wise, you've got these two. And I say rumor-wise, it's like, oh, well, this stuff all came out in the past 24 hours or so. It's a crazy time for us, man. Watching these rumors start to come in and everybody's names is getting tossed out there and we've got a whole bunch of teams. It's pandemonium. And I absolutely love it. But of course, Toronto and the Carolina Hurricanes, they aren't the only teams that people are discussing as potential Zach Werenski trade destinations. Tampa Bay would be such a big killer for the rest of the Atlantic Division because you think about it, they just lost out Darren Radish. They just lost out on Hedman. If they get Zach Werenski, like, imagine how many more points this guy's going to be getting per season if he's got Nikita Kucherov feeding him rather than whomever else is on the Columbus Blue Jackets forward core. I can't even name names right now. There also were some other replies asking whether or not teams like Detroit could get in the mix there as well. I like the idea of the Red Wings getting Werenski, obviously, because I'm a Wings fan, but also Werenski is from Michigan. He played for the Wolverines. He is a Michigan dude. Everything points to a potential link with Zach Werenski and the Red Wings. But as we have seen with some other top-tier defensemen who played for Michigan over the past few years, just because you're a Michigan dude does not guarantee anything. And I'm saying that thinking with Quinn Hughes in mind, because that obviously was another connection that people were making. This tweet has a few other conversations in the replies. Here are the teams that Werenski would accept a trade to. Vegas, Florida, Minnesota, Carolina. That's a really funny tweet, Andrew. That's very funny. Obviously, he's not confirming or denying a trade list here, but he's pointing at the fact that it seems like everybody that leaves either wants one of those four teams on their list. Anyways, this is definitely something to watch over the next few months. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Where do you think Zach Werenski gets traded to if he does get traded? Are you more of a Lightning guy? Do you think he gets sent over to Carolina? Do you think the Red Wings and Steve Yzerman should make a push? It doesn't seem like he's sticking around in Columbus, though. This guy's gone at some point. Thoughts in the comment section below about Zach Werenski and his future. I hope you enjoyed this video. I gotta go because I gotta get some pre-draft food in me before we sit back and start making videos on the day's event. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.